Hello, and welcome to another BTFO. Today we're going to be talking about Clown in a Cornfield. This is a new 2025 independent horror, I suppose. To give my very brief thoughts on it, I would not recommend it. And to expand on those thoughts, I guess, it is very much a sort of generic slasher movie that at very few occasions will give you a glimpse of like an idea that they might have had to make it something more than that. It really does, to me, Clown in a Cornfield feels like they maybe had a first draft of the script that was funny and clever and like poked fun at horror tropes and like at the genre, had a lot of fun throughout it. And then they just sort of gave up when making further drafts of the script and went, that's gonna be kind of hard to do. Let's just fuck it, do the plain, like, dumbed down, like, watered down, standard slasher. It was really kind of disappointing, because it's like, dang, I'd like to believe, especially for like how much of an independent movie this is, that it's like, well, surely someone had like a creative drive to be like, no, this is really, I want to make this movie, like, I think this is going to be really great, like, people are going to really enjoy this. And it's like, what the hell happened? Like, because I don't know, like, to go over the story, I guess, this girl, Quinn, moves to this like little town with her dad, and like she ends up meeting a bunch of teenagers from the town that, I guess, for fun, they make YouTube videos about like the killer clown in their town, because that clown is like a mascot for corn syrup, because I guess that's like their town's one export is corn syrup. Like, they make a big deal out of like, no, this town has basically for the past 100 years been founded around the idea that we all make corn syrup. I don't know, it's really bizarre where like it's so generic, where it's like, oh, they're goofing around, and then like, oh, they thought somebody was like killed by the clown, but no, it's just the teenagers messing around. And then, oh, what do you know, later, like one of those teenagers is like, hey guys, like, stop messing with me, like, and then it turns out, oh, it's a clown that's like gonna kill them. And it's like, I don't know if that even really makes sense, like, given how the film goes, because basically we'll end up getting the reveal that it's like all of the older townsfolk are dressing up as like the clown and killing teenagers because they, like, basically they've pried, it's like a really dumbed down Hot Fuzz, where like they really pride the way their town is, and so like they want to get rid of anyone that might dare to change that. But it's like, I don't know why specifically did they kill like the two people that they did before because like there's a big like they call it a hoedown, which I found kind of interesting, where it's like, I I guess, like, maybe you'd use that term, but I don't know. I've always associated hoedowns as being more of like a Western, like, country kind of gathering rather than, like, it's pretty much, I think they call it a rave also. Like, they interchange those terms, and it's like, I don't know that that's, like, those two things are not the same. Like, but when they do that, like, all the clowns basically come out and they're like trying to kill all these kids, which it's also kind of annoying because they kind of make it out that like he's like 5 or 6 teenagers that like we need to kill them specifically, no one else. That like all the other kids, they just get in line, I guess. And it's like I don't really know why the chain of events really happens the way that it does, other than just, well, that's the plot, that's how they wrote it. Like, there are some fun scenes and concepts in this movie, where, like, I do like the death of the clown where, like, Quinn and another girl, they're, like, going through this house, and one of the clowns takes a pitchfork and, like, stabs, the other girl through the stomach, and so then, like, Quinn, I think she throws something at the clown, and so it staggers him for a second, and so then she, like, says sorry to the other girl, and then takes the rake out of her, and then, as the other clown charges, she, like, stabs him with the rake, and the clown falls down, and the girl who's already been stabbed and is, like, on the ground dying, she says, "I hate you, Quinn." And then the clown says, "Me too." Like, that's kind of funny. Like, I enjoy that part. Like, I enjoy when they're kind of, like, goofing around with it. But the problem is that, like, that kind of stuff is very, very few and far between. That a lot of it is just generic slasher movie. Like, a lot of it wants to be taken seriously, and it's like, man, like, maybe if you presented this in a more compelling way, like, we could take it seriously. Because, like, I don't know, I like the first Nightmare on Elm Street, you know. I don't think that, like, the ending makes much sense, but, like, it's a cool concept, and it's done okay, like, in that first one. Like, it's at least done in a way where it's like, no, they do want you to take it seriously, and it is kind of horrifying in a serious way, but then, like, it also has its little goofy moments, and then later down that series it just becomes goofy. But, like, yeah, here it's a little bit of like, oh, because you kind of get the impression that with, like, all the deaths and stuff, they're kind of going for a, like, oh, look what Terrifier did, but, like, we could do that. And it's like, yeah, but you're doing this, like, way more sanitized compared to Terrifier. Like, I don't know, with how independent this is, I would want to be more, like, charitable, but I really kind of do think that this was only made because of the success of the Terrifier movies, that they were like, oh yeah, let's do that. And so, yeah, it's generic and, like, kind of boring, I would say, because there's really not that much that goes on outside of your, like, typical, like, I don't know, Blumhouse slasher. You know, like, it reminds me kind of a lot of, like, Hard Eyes, where, I don't know, I guess I would say that the story in this makes more sense than Hard Eyes, but it's also just because it's, like, it doesn't ever really try to be anything more complicated than, like, that has to be. Like, all of the twists are not really twists. there's some setup that they do for trying to like do a fake out of like, oh, who could the clown actually be? But it's like, well, but we know though that like the clown can't be any of the teenagers because you opened with a flashback in the 90s. So it's like, obviously it's not any of the teenagers because we know the clown was around killing people in the 90s. So, and yeah, and it's like, I don't know, it's just, it's boring and generic, and like there are some fun scenes where I did like the scene where there's like a clown that brings another one of his clown friends to the dad, who's like the town doctor, and he's trying to get him to like help him or help his friend, and so the dad, like trying to get out of there, basically he tries to convince the like clown that, oh, your buddy's dying, like I need you to help me with the AED, and so he like gives him the pads, and then grabs the clown's knife that he put down and like stabs him through the neck with it, and then the like clown starts to take it out, and the dad's like, whoa, like you don't want to take that out, and he's like, oh, fuck you, and like takes it out, and he's like, yeah, well now you're just gonna bleed to death, and he like falls over, and it's like, that's kind of fun, like, but I don't know, I wish that it was a lot more fun than it was, and like, I don't know, acting wise, it's all fine, yeah, like they all do an okay job. Kevin Durand has a weird, because for some reason, even though it's supposed to be set in like Oklahoma or something, few of the adult actors had like real thick southern accents, and oh, our town is all built on cornbread, and it's like, okay, like, that's a choice that feels kind of cringe, but like, you I guess, because like they specifically say that this is like a Midwest city, because they say that it's pretty far from both coasts, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, so not the South then, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, it feels a little out of place. Yeah, like, I don't know. I guess that's pretty much all my brief thoughts on this movie. I don't really care to talk about it too much, because, yeah, it's kind of boring and generic, and it doesn't feel like they put a whole lot of effort into it. Like, I suppose there is a level of effort in there, and there's an idea that could have been pretty good, but it feels like both of those were just kind of squandered and wasted away, which is kind of a shame. But so, yeah, I wouldn't recommend this movie. Those have been my brief thoughts. So thank you for watching, and bye.